Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai is the Son of the living power, the Messiah, which these are the true names of the Most High and His only begotten Son, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, and Lashon Kodash, which means holy language. Also want to give double honors to the other apostles, a great millstone and peace and blessings unto the elect, and salute and shalom to the fellow laborers in His truth. Right, in this lesson I'm going to be touching on the Motb, or the C-hip, the charagma, or the charagma, whatever you want to call it, which is, ultimately prophesied in the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16, or down to verse 18, where it's prophesied where Esau will cause many on the earth to receive a mark, which is the C-hip, the chip implant, if you will, which will hold, all types of information, and will ultimately be used for transactions, whether you want to buy, you want to sell, you need the chip, and you need the implant. Whosoever will not have the C-hip at that point of time that I'm talking about is whosoever will not have that that C-hip or the mark will not be able to buy and sell, right? And this is gonna be, that's the focus of this lesson, which I got a couple of articles I want to go into, and Lord willing, this lesson's edifying, which I came across this article from October 27th, 2022, which the title, it says the rise of biodigital surveillance. Aaron Carity, it says recently, as I was about to go through an airport. In fact, I don't even want to read too much of this. I just want to get key points in this lesson. Right, let me find it real quick. Right, so okay. It says I could skip long lines. Well, let's just read this part. It says the company's website explains, instead of using traditional ID documents, Clear uses your eyes and face to confirm it's really you. And a lot of countries, such as, if I'm not mistaken, China, have facial recognition, technology, which that's all building up to the mark, the Motb. It says the Clear system uses, and Clear meaning what? Clear is an enterprise or company. I ain't gonna get too deep into it because I don't know too much about it. Right? It says the Clear system uses not an iris scan and facial recognition, but other biometrics like fingerprints. This is all leading up to the Motb. This is tied to demographic data you voluntarily hand over, and a link to your current credit score. Right? It says Clear also has a health pass that stores proof of vaccination, negative C test, and health surveys. Right, I want to go down here. It says Clear isn't the only enterprise working at the intersection of biometrics and digital authentication. Plans for digital IDs have been in the works for several years, but they gained traction during the pandemic. Since ID 2020 is a non-profit alliance founded in 2016 with seed money from Microsoft. Let's jump down to this. Right, it's this the state mission of ID 2020 is to provide digital identities for all people worldwide, and in these last days, the mark of the beast, or the Motb, or that will be that main digital ID in these last days, man. This is by 2023, and that's what Esau want. Esau, he want this. Esau, this is his dream, if you will. He wants a new world order. Right, I got a couple of scriptures lined up. Go to the book of Job, chapter 15, verse 35. It says, they conceive mischief. Right, and how they conceive it through their minds. They tell you that they're wicked, man. They're the border of wickedness. The soul which is within them is not upright. They want to chip everybody. They want to bring a new world order, man, where man is, where man is, literally connected to technology, to anything digital, where man has no freedom, have no power, over their own livelihood. Because when you receive that chip, when it's mandated, best believe you sold your soul in reality. You sold your soul when you take that chip, just to live longer and to operate in this world. But if you take that chip, best believe you're going to be subjected, if you will, to whatever they say and want. Because if you don't do if you have that chip in you, and they decree something and you don't do it, they'll be able to cut off your chip, man. And that's like cutting you off from your money, your livelihood, your freedom to buy and sell, so, and that's what Esau want. He want absolute power, right? This world is going into a totalitarian way. Let's go into that word, totalitarian. Slovakia. Totalitarian meaning what? Relating to a system of government that is centralized or dictatorial and requires complete subservience to the state. Right, and that's why Esau want. Esau want complete degree of control and regulation over public and private life, and he's going to do it through digital currency and digital ID, which will ultimately come in the form of a chip implant, so it says they conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepare deceit, and at the end of the day Esau will deceive the world to worship his image, to worship the image of the beast, and to receive his mark. Because the Motb, the chip implant, will be basically painted as though it's for the benefit of the world. It's for the global standing of the world. The Motb will be somewhat like, I believe it will be portrayed as a symbol by the devil, by Esau. It will be portrayed as a symbol of security, global standing, economical standing for the world, and that's the deceit that Esau will put forth or prepare for the world. And the rich and the poor, the free and the bond on this earth, is going to fall into that trap, fall into that deceit, and receive the mark, whether it's through trickery, whether it's through wiles, whether it's through through threat or jeopardy to one's life, because it's gonna come a time when Esau will kill those that refuse to take the mark. And that's prophesied in the book of Revelation chapter 20. Where it's prophesied that those that hold this word and believe in Yahushua, hold the testimony of Yahushua and refuse the mark will be beheaded. So it's gonna come a time those that will refuse the mark, the chip implant, will be beheaded, literally. Right? So Esau is going to use different methods to get people to receive the mark, man. It says the stated mission of ID 2020 is to provide digital identities for all people worldwide by 2030. Right? And I believe it may be sooner, man. I don't see this world, because ultimately at the end of the day, when the Motb, when Revelation chapter 13 verse 16, Revelation chapter 13 verse 16 on down to verse 18 come to pass and is fulfilled, best believe the end is very near, man. The end of America is near, because the Motb is going to be rolled out before the destruction of Babylon the Great. Right? And I don't see this place going on for any longer, but who knows? The will of the Lord be done. Right? But continue reading. It says digital IDs will be tied. See, and this is the point I wanted to get. Forgive me if I was messing up on reading this this article. Right? But it says digital IDs will be tied to fingerprints and other biometric data. Right? And one thing they ain't gonna mention is the chip implant. Right? That ain't really came into view yet. To some, they showing it, partly, but they ain't gonna show it, fully yet. In fact, let's go to the book of Job real quick. Job chapter 20 verse 12. It says, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth. And what is the wickedness that is attractive to Esau, to the elites, everybody being chipped? That's the wickedness. That's attractive, man, to Esau. That's a pleasant sight. That's a pleasant thing. In the sight of Esau, in the sight of the elites, in the sight of these damn Luciferians and Satanists, for everyone to be chipped, because that's going to be the height of their ruling. That's going to be the height of their power, if you will, when you really think about it. This is though wickedness be sweet, meaning what? Pleasant, attractive, amusing in his mouth, meaning his mind. Right? The New World Order, the Motb, that's all a part of his plan. That's all, his dreams. That's his dream. His set or his purpose plan, if you will, his purpose goal. It's as though he hide it under his tongue. And Esau, he like people like Klaus Schwab, which, if I'm not mistaken, he's the spokesperson for WEF, the World Economic Forum, and different world leaders. They ain't gonna come flat out and say or speak about the Motb now, but it's gonna come a time when they will. They're hiding it under their tongues right now. Right now you have a World Economic Forum meeting, or a meeting where all world leaders and different technology gurus, business leaders, and environmentalists and other Davos patrons will meet. This is let's just read this little part real quick. This is the gathering in a Swiss mountain next week of politicians, business leaders, and technology gurus, environmentalists, and other Davos patrons. Only the second in person after 2 years pandemic will wrestle with questions once unthinkable, right? So there's a meeting, for the World Economic Forum and different leaders and different people, that's going to happen next week or sometimes next week, up and coming. And this may be it, man. This may be when Esau fully conspire, and breed, this evil plan together. This may be, after that meeting, man. Be prepared for anything, right? But let's go back to the scriptures. It says the stated mission of ID, not the scripture but the article. It says the stated mission of ID 2020 is to provide digital identities for all people worldwide. By 2030, digital IDs will be tied to fingerprints and other biometric data like iris scans, demographic information, medical records, data on education, travel, and financial transactions, man. And that the Motb will be used for financial transactions, man, and bank accounts. And if there's a grid shutdown or a cyber attack in America, best believe, the Motb and the new digital currency may be something that will be brought up after that. Right. What else should I read on this? Right. I wanted to go here real quick. It says, right, I ain't gonna read all of it. I just want to read different points. It says the technology remains a protagonist in a global financial world, and really, in the sight of Esau, the Motb will be which, when you go into that word protagonist, is the word protagonist means an advocate or champion. In fact, let's go into the Latin. First in importance. So Esau, in the sight of Esau, the Motb, is going to be a championing. I said championing. I meant to say a champion. In a global financial world, man, for the good standing of the world, man. And that's what Esau going to, basically portray. Esau going to portray, the Motb, the chip implant, which whosoever received the chip implant is going to die. That's his sin unto death, right? But Esau, he's going to make it seem like the chip, the Motb, is going to be for the greater good for the world, or for the good standings of the world, if you will, or for just for the good of the world. I don't really need to stretch it out any further, but let's go to the book of let's read, let's finish this. Job chapter 20 verse 12. It says, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue. And that's really symbolic. When it says though he hide it under his tongue, that's symbolic for conspiracies, Conspiracy, secret society. What secret societies do? They breed evil plots together. So really, Esau is doing evil behind closed doors, man. They got plans in the works. They're breeding a evil plan or evil conspiracy for the future, man. They may not show it, but it is, man. Right, that's why in the book of Habakkuk said, wait for it, man. Though it tarry, meaning what? These prophecies. Though these prophecies tarry, wait for it, for it will surely come. Verse 13, it says, though he spirit, meaning what? When it says he spirit, meaning he, basically he let off it for now. Right, because really, when you go into it, the RFID chip, there's been many forms of the Motb in the past, such as the RFID chip, and I'm sure a chip implant has been made for the past years, but Esau, he ain't really really put it out there yet. So he's sparing his plan. He's waiting, if you will. He ain't gonna really do it, yet. Right, but that time is coming, man. The time of Esau putting forth the Motb is coming, man. It says, and forsake it not. Esau, he ain't gonna forsake the Motb, man, or his plan to chip everybody. He ain't gonna forsake the New World Order, man. This is his paradise, right? In fact, the word paradise means pleasure, right? So Esau is known as the children of this world. In the book of Psalms, I think David called Esau the child or the children of this world. So this is Esau's world. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, which is Esau, right? So Esau, he's not going to forsake his paradise, right? Even though this is his paradise now, but he want more. He want more, man. He want a greater or a better world for himself, and that world is wicked, man. So he's not going to forsake his paradise or his vision of paradise. In fact, it tell you in the book of Habakkuk that his let's go to the book of Habakkuk chapter 2. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5, it says, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Now this scripture is concerning Esau, where it says he enlargeth his desire as hell, and that's concerning Esau, meaning what? Esau, he has a huge desire, even though he got the world already, the earth is given into his hand. He has the dew of the earth. He has riches. He has substance. He has a good standing in his world. His strength is firm in his world. He has his generational wealth. He has his political power. He has his military power. He has his left hand power. Right, but he want more, and what he want now is complete control. Right, complete control and regulation over public and private life, man. Esau want a totalitarian a world, man, where he is ruling, man. Esau want to be in power, complete power, man. That's why it says he set his heart as the heart of God, because really the Most High, he controls over public and private life, and Esau, he want that, man. He want that, world. Esau, he want to exercise an extreme degree of control and regulation over public and private life, man. Now let's go back to Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5. It says, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Now when it says hell, it's concerning the grave or the earth. Now let me ask you something. Just imagine all the dead bodies that have been, put in the grave throughout the whole existence of the earth. Has the earth, have the grave ever been overfilled? No. So it's really symbolically, it don't matter how many bodies you put in the grave will never the earth will never be fulfilled, if you will. So that's concerning Esau's desire, man. Or that's symbolic for, when it says as hell, it's symbolic for Esau's desire being unfulfilled. Esau saith within himself, this current world is not enough. In fact, let's go here real quick, because I seen a quote. Let's go back real quick. In fact, let's go to one of these pictures I got. Hopefully this is the one I was thinking about. No, not this one. Oh, not this one either. Let's go. Salaki, bear with me. Right, this is from the New York Times article. It was a quote that I wanted to get, which will ultimately back up a script. Bear with me. Archon, I think it's right here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it's not. Bear with me. Okay. Salakia. Archon. Well, this is a quote from Klaus Schwab himself. Right, I think this is the thing I was looking for, if I'm not mistaken. Right, it says Archon, it says, we are told that these technological changes are organic market developments, a visionary response to consumers' demand. Since the fourth industrial revolution will be people powered, says the global consulting giant McKinsey and Co. I think it means corporation. It says, yet if you don't like the new order, well, to hell with you. This is basically Esau showing his hand, showing his desire, showing himself being unsatisfied with the current way. He want a new world order, which is everybody being chipped, everybody being controlled. It says, this is what else he says. It says, because it is inevitable anyways just a year ago, right? It says Klaus Schwab himself pronounced, right? This is what Klaus Schwab says. It says the people assumed that we are just going back to the good world which we had, and everything will be normal again. This, let's say, fiction, it will not happen, because Esau, he's unsatisfied with this current world. This current world is not enough for him. Let's go back to Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5. It says, who enlargeth his desire is hell, and is as death concerning the grave. Again, when it says death is concerning the grave, it says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And Esau will do this again, through the chip, through the Motb, because at the end of the day, the Indian man is not going to be controlling people. The Ishmaelite man is not going to be controlling people. And you got a lot of jigs out there, a lot of people out there know, which I know as well, Ishmael or the Arabs, the different Islamic nations, they have a lot of riches, but at the end of the day, Esau has more power, military, financial power, more authority and power than them. Just because you got a lot of money, man, doesn't mean you really controlling everything, right? But let's see if I can find another quote, someone else as well. Alright, Khan, right, and I wanted to say something. Esau, he's going to make it seem like the Motb is going to be for the improvement of the global standing, which in fact I wanted to go to the book of First Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, and I believe they're going to say, they're going to make it seem like, or they're going to portray through the media, through news, through social media, through different things. They're going to portray the Motb, it's going to be, they're going to portray the Motb, the chip implant, is for the benefit of the world, it's for the good standing of the world, man, for the good standing of the economy and stuff like that. Because right now we have the recession and inflation, and you got different what's happening in Ukraine and stuff like that, different things. And the Motb will basically be portrayed as a symbol of stability, future stability for the world. In fact, when you go to that, let's read this real quick. This is, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Now, going to the word safety, it's from a Greek word asphalia.
Strong's G 803. Asphalia. Asphalia.
Which means stability, security. And I believe Esau is gonna portray the Motb to be for the security and for the stability for the world, man. And that's gonna be one of Esau's methods to get people to take the chip. Also another thing, when you go into the word peace, it means what? A state of national tranquility, harmony, and imagine if what you tell you in the book of Revelation chapter 13 verse 16 on down to verse 18, it tell you that the rich and the poor and the free and the bond will receive the mark in their right hand and in their forehead, which is the chip implant being implanted into the body, into the skin or under the skin, right? And imagine the whole world receiving the mark, taking a chip, being in harmony or being on the same page and taking that, and imagine, that may provide, a short window of peace in the world, because we know that looking at the measuring the times diligently, we know that the prophecy of the Motb, the mark, or concerning the mark, has to be fulfilled before America being destroyed. So everyone will be chipped, or the people on the earth will be chipped before America will be destroyed. So the Motb may be also portrayed as a symbol of peace, where all the nations, where all the world leaders, the governments on this earth is implementing this new platform, all over the world, and not even just the Western. It's going to be implemented in different countries as well, foreign countries as well, man. So it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. Right, the word sudden means unexpected, unexpected, and really, or unforeseen, right? And that sudden, like I said before, the Motb has to be implemented before the destruction of America, Babylon the Great. So when the Motb is mandated and implemented, and has been received by the world, best believe the destruction of America is coming next. Right? It says, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And just think about it. Could the Motb be used as a symbol of peace and safety? Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 20 verse 13. It says, though he spirit and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth. Let's go to the book of Psalms. I'm gonna close it off right here. Psalm chapter 55 verse 21 says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. And we seeing Esau trickery and his craftiness during the time when he came to America and was tricking the so-called native Indians, right? The indigenous of this land, the native of this land, right? their words or the words of their mouth were smoother than butter, meaning they flattered Jake, man. They flattered the Gadites and ended up killing them. Killing millions and millions of them. And taking the land. Right, but Psalm chapter 55 verse 21 says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Right, and Esau, he's going to use his wiles. He's going to use trickery. He's going to use different, deceptive methods, crafty methods to get people, to receive the Motb, the charagma, the chip implant, and he's going to paint an image that's going to be pleasant, man. Maybe the Motb will be implemented during tough times in these last days. Maybe the world or America just got out of a tough time, such as a grid shutdown, a cyber attack, or something to do with the economy. Maybe America just got out of that, and then they may portray a solution, or a proposition, or an idea, or put forth an idea, right? They're going to conceive mischief. They're going to put forth an idea, the Motb, so this is, but the war was in his heart, right? So at the end of the day, Esau, he's going to implement, the Motb, and it may be, he may mandate it, or he may put it forth, on what's the word for it? Gentle. He may be gentle with it, and he may use trickery and different methods with it, right? But there's gonna come a time when he's gonna get severe with it. He's gonna mandate the Motb, or make the Motb mandatory, severely, man. To the point where if you don't take the chip or the Motb, you're gonna die. And you're an adversary. You're a menace to society. And he's gonna behead many that don't take the Motb. And it's prophesied, man. Since his words were softer than oil, yet were their drawn swords. So first they may put forth the Motb as an idea, a very good idea, a solution, right? But after, they're gonna come down hard upon the lands with great wrath, man, and make it mandatory, right? But I'm gonna close off on this. Lord willing, this lesson's edifying. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles, agreement, stone of peace and blessings unto the elect, and salute and shalom to the fellow laborers in his truth, and all praises and honor and glory be to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Shalom.